So, here we go. Here's one of the radical prototype boards that we've been working on. Previously on this episode of Other Planet Technology, we've been experimenting with more of a freestyle board. Something with a short wheelbase. Yeah, and this was the one that was only 2 plies thick. It was a super thin one. Yeah, it was the super thin one with all the graphics on it. It was all just the spray paint randomness that was all over the board. It originally started out as just a super thin, flexible board that was going to be lightweight. And it was going to be a one step. We make that board and then we move on to the next one. Right. But the next one didn't have the same properties we liked. Yeah, it ended up being too thick and we lost a lot of the flexibility and the rebound. And the wheel wells weren't the right shape on top. We literally hand molded each one of these wheel wells. So what function do the wheel wells play in when you're riding and using it? Okay. Like, well, how do you have to interact with them in order to make the board work? They're definitely a little cumbersome, you know, obviously sticking out that much. But it also is a nice feature to know where your feet are. Because you have these big nubs to rub your feet up against, you have a real locking mechanism. So because they're there, you use them. Exactly. I mean, you can't get around them, obviously. So it's nice to know that they're there, and you can actually use them to really drive through carbs and things. Yeah. But overall, it's just so you can't step on the wheel when you're really just, you know, tearing it apart and jumping all around on the deck and, you know, finding the sweet spot to try and drive through your corners. This has turned into like the board that you ride every day, right? Yeah, this is basically my favorite board. It's something that, as long as I have, I can use and enjoy. Doesn't matter if it's steep, doesn't matter if it's super flat, doesn't matter if I'm at the skate park, doesn't matter if the pavement's perfect. I can jump on this board and entertain myself. So that's really the goal and the function and, you know, what we've achieved here. Yeah. Sort of shreds. Grab handle's a little goofy, but hey. Got it done. It's entertaining. It's something you can literally just jump on in a flat parking lot and experience a ton of deck tip, which you think would only be beneficial if you're going really fast or really doing steep technical terrain. But it's something that's fun on super flat stuff because now you have a kicktail, you have a short, lightweight, very, very flexible, reboundy, bouncy board that you can actually, you know, play around on. So, you know, to me, it's a really good step in a new direction that'll provide performance at higher speeds and a lot of, you know, carving, but it's something that really shreds and pumps and tears apart pavement really well. That's a lot of carbon. Yeah, that's a lot of carbon. It's excessive. But it is all 45. Yeah. So its torsional strength is what? Pretty decent considering it. All it is 2 layers of. Is it one of them? Holy cow! It's hard to believe that it's this torsionally flexed or stiff. Like, I can't even feel it doing anything. This is like one of the stiffest boards torsionally I've ever seen. And it's still quite flexible. Jump on it. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? I can bounce it all the way to the ground. That's incredible. That was the goal. We wanted something unbelievable. And you are looking at it. It's unbelievably goofy, too, at the same time. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, we've learned a lot. In fact, just the wheel well cutout is probably the most radical thing about this. It works so well that it's something we can trace the cutout and replicate. The actual cutout. Yeah, not the wheel well itself, but the cutout for the wheel. Yeah. It's so minimalist, but so exactly where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna. It's ultimately gonna end up being a template for future wheel well cutouts. So yeah, Other Planet, Longboard Technology, Prototype Deck Division.